When I was 16, I made the worst decision of my life. It all started when I stumbled across a thread on some shady forum about the dark web. You know, the kind of places they say you should never visit. But being a dumb teenager with too much curiosity and not enough sense, I figured, why not? It wasn't hard to find a way in. Some basic searches, a few downloaded programs, and there I was, browsing through the underbelly of the internet. At first it was underwhelming. Just forums with strange topics, shops selling illegal stuff, chat rooms where people acted tough behind their anonymous usernames. I thought it was all just a bunch of hype. But then, I found a link buried deep in a forum thread. No description, no comments. Just a URL in plain text that read, "The Silent Offer." Of course I clicked. The page was pitch black except for a single sentence in the middle. Enter a dream, leave a nightmare. Below that, there was a button labeled Begin. At this point, I should have just closed the browser and moved on with my life. But instead, my hand moved on its own, clicking the button before I could think twice. The screen flickered, and suddenly my webcam light blinked on. I froze, staring at my own reflection on the monitor. Then, a message popped up. "Thank you for accepting. Your experience begins now." The camera shut off, and the page went dark again. I sat there for a few minutes, waiting for something to happen. But nothing did. Feeling stupid, I closed my laptop and tried to shake off the weird feeling crawling up my spine. That night, I hesitated before going to bed. I didn't want to sleep, but exhaustion got the better of me, and soon I was back in that same nightmare. Only this time, it was worse. The whispers were clearer. They weren't just sounds anymore, they were words. I couldn't make them all out, but the ones I could hear made my blood run cold. "We see you. You belong to us now." In the dream, I tried to scream, but no sound came out. The dark figures were closer this time. Their faces, or what I thought were faces, were barely more than smears of shadow and smoke. One of them reached out and touched my arm, and I swear I could feel its cold, bony fingers dig into my skin. I woke up gasping for air, my arm burning where it had touched me. I looked down, expecting to find nothing, but there were bruises, faint, but there in the shape of long, thin fingers. That's when I knew something was really wrong. The next few days were hell. I stopped sleeping altogether, too terrified of what would happen if I closed my eyes. But even staying awake didn't help. The shadows in the corners of my vision grew darker, more solid. They were following me, creeping closer every time I turned my back. By the end of the week, I was a mess. I could barely think straight. Every sound, every flicker of movement sent me into a panic. I tried deleting everything off my laptop, but it didn't matter. The nightmares kept coming, and now I couldn't tell if I was awake or still trapped in one. One night, as I sat in my room, too scared to sleep, my laptop turned on by itself. The screen was black, except for one message. "You can't run." I stared at the screen, my breath caught in my throat. Then, the webcam light flicked on again. This time, I didn't see myself on the screen. I saw them. The shadowy figures standing right behind me. I bolted from my chair, turning around to face my empty room, but they were there. I could see them now, not just in the corners of my eyes, but clear as day, standing in the dim light. They didn't move, but I could feel their eyes, if they even had eyes, watching me. My phone buzzed on the desk, pulling my attention back. A message from an unknown number. It's too late. Before I could even process what was happening, a hand, cold, skeletal, and impossibly strong, grabbed my shoulder. I tried to scream, but the sound caught in my throat as I was dragged backward into the darkness. I woke up in a hospital bed. My parents told me they found me unconscious on my bedroom floor, clutching my phone so hard that my knuckles were white. They said I'd been unresponsive for 2 days, barely breathing. They didn't understand what had happened, and honestly, I couldn't explain it to them. But I knew that they had finally caught me. I haven't been the same since. I don't go online anymore, not just the dark web, but anywhere. No social media, no browsing, nothing. And yet, every now and then, I still feel them. Watching. Sometimes, late at night, my phone will buzz with a message from an unknown number. I don't dare open them anymore. I know what they'll say. It's never over. But the worst part. Last night, I looked in the mirror, and for a split second, I could swear I saw someone else staring back. Not me. Them.